Later that night, we were all in a place called the Garden of Gethsemane. And as we were off praying, all of a sudden the soldiers came, and they were being led by one of our own. Did you know that? One of our own, Judas the Iscariot, he was leading the soldiers. And as the soldiers came, Simon got up. He woke up. He had been sleeping. And he finally woke up, and he took the knife from his belt, the little knife he used for gutting the fish. And he started to swing it around. And you know, he cut off the ear, not of a temple guard. He cut off the ear of a slave of a temple guard. Let me tell you, as a swordsman, Simon made a much better fisherman. Now Judas leads these guards, and he goes to Jesus. And do you know that he betrayed Jesus with a kiss? Can you believe this? He betrays him with a kiss. I will tell you about Judas. Judas knew the cost of everything and the value of nothing. Well, they took Jesus away, and they put him on a mockery of a trial. And they beat him, and they scourged him. And then they sentenced him to death. And he was made to carry his own cross. And the only one of us, of the 12 of us, that was at the foot of the cross was John. And to this very day, I give praise and glory to John for having the strength to be there. The rest of us, many were not even around. Many were hidden in the upper room and other places. But I was there, but I was hiding behind walls or behind people. I was frightened. And I was watching, and I saw as Jesus was made to carry his cross. And then I saw as a woman, I learned her name was Veronica, came with a cloth to wipe his face. And he falls. And he picks his cross up, and then he falls again. And the guards go and get a man named Simon from the region of Cyrene to come to help Jesus. For the rest of my life, every time I felt that life was difficult for me, in my mind's eye, I would see Jesus fall. Because every time he fell, he got back up. Praise be to God, yes? He got back up, and here he was carrying his own cross. Simon is there helping him, and when he arrives at the mount where they are going to crucify him, they throw him on the ground. They take his clothes off. I am hiding from the back. I am watching, and I see as they put nails into his hands. I watched as they raised him up on that cross, and when they put it into the hole, his face raked with pain, and I wanted to help, but I could do nothing but watch. I watched as he was there. I was at a distance, and I heard him say, "Why have you forsaken me?" And I saw him as he raised his head to look around. I believe he was looking for us. He was looking for us. He was saying, "Where are my friends?" He raised his head to breathe, and his head would fall. He'd raise his head, it would fall. Finally, I saw it fall for the last time, and he was dead. I saw as a soldier came with a sword and pushed it into his side. My Messiah was dead. They murdered him. I stayed in the background till I saw most people had left and they were ready to take Jesus down. And as they were taking him down, I finally had enough nerve, and I moved up to where they were, and I helped them bring Jesus down from the cross. And as he's laying down on the ground, I am there next to him, and I see the holes in his hand, and I put his hands together on him as we wrap him in a linen. And at one point his hand comes and it is moved, and it goes onto my knee, my tunic. And when I put his hand back, I saw there was blood on my tunic. It was his blood. And I said to myself, I will not wash the blood. I will remember every time I see that blood, I will remind myself of the sacrifice that Jesus made for me. Yes? So a friend of ours said to us that we may bury Jesus in his tomb, and that's what we did. A group of us took Jesus to the tomb. He was put in, and we watched as the Roman guards, they rolled a rock in front of it. And there Jesus was buried at the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, yes? For the next few days, I did nothing but wander through the streets of Jerusalem. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do now? My life is over. My Messiah has been murdered by these people. The man who I mostly lived with for 3 years, who I traveled with, who I believed was anointed, chosen by God to do great things for my peoples, was dead. What was I going to do?